Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, friends. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a sutta teaching that I want to talk about this wandering mind, because most of the time my friends tell me about during the meditation, the mind is wandering. What is the solution for that? Actually, we tell, okay, you can come back to your breathing. You can try not to focus your attention there. And there are so many skills involving about managing distracted thoughts. And we also know that still we find it's difficult to reduce this wandering mind. For what type of things our mind wanders, friends? Normally, when our mind wanders, have you ever analyzed or investigated what was going on in my mind during the meditations? I start with focusing to the breath, but later I found out I'm somewhere else. Have you tried to do some um, investigation during those moments? What's going on in me?
I do, Bante, sometimes.
Yes.
I try
Can
to
you give me
find
an
out.
example for what type of things your mind was wandered?
I went to a funeral today for a very good friend that passed away yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So I came in a little bit late. I just kept thinking because we were shoveling, we shoveled the dirt onto the casket. So I was just thinking of that and thinking of where he is now, just at least his body. That's all. But I know that it's just his body
Yes.
that's there. But that's what I was thinking about when I was meditating, trying to
Yes,
meditate.
that's your experiment. That's what you found out. How about
Yeah.
Tina? Can you give me an example? What? Yes?
Yeah, so I try to analyze what type of emotion that's arising. So
Yes.
it could be anywhere from like fear to recognize and label my emotion.
Okay. Now, when the mind wanders, normally it goes to a distraction, of course. It can be a hindrance. Okay.
Mhm.
Normally, that's how we learned according to the teachings. It can be a hindrance, which means it hinders our concentration. Wherever there is no peace of mind, there can be one among those hindrances. First one was sense desire. Sense
But
desire.
that
Yes.
almost sounds like a change of concentration. And I don't find that. I mean, my mind wanders off, but I get it quickly back into
To the breath. Yeah,
into the
yeah,
meditation.
of course. But actually, our we have the potential to experience, enjoy a deep level of concentration, a very deep level of stillness of our heart. We have that power, but we were blocked by the hindrances. Of course, we can bring our mind back to our breath, but when it comes to increasing that and sustaining that is very difficult.
Hmm.
It's very difficult to sustain our observation for the future up until it grow into a higher, deep concentration. Okay. Now, the most powerful hindrance, which means the most powerful block to our peace of mind, is said to be the sense desire. Okay. When we don't have our peace of mind, there is always this constant wandering our mind into the enjoyment of the senses. For an example, we can experience sometimes our mind is going to, we remember, actually, we remember or we predict about an beautiful sight. This is how Buddha classified it in order to understand. Buddha said, while he was meditating, he saw these things, he experienced. He had a kind of experience that his mind was going to a beautiful sight. Okay. Or else it was going to a beautiful sound, attractive sound. He was going to a beautiful, attractive fragrance or a taste. This can make sense, more sense, because when we meditate, we remember, okay, what will I gonna have for my lunch? Today, what will I gonna have for the lunch or for the dinner? What I'm gonna have tomorrow? So our mind is engaged with these thoughts and it goes to wonder because it seeks for some enjoyment by being with the sense pleasures. Sometimes our mind go to the touch. So Buddha said this is the domain of our mind. It can only go all over these sense objects. Does this make sense? Yes, there are sometimes Buddha say the mind is like a fish pulled out from the water. What happens when a fish pulled out from the water? Is it peaceful? Is it always the same and calm? No. It jumps here and there and it trembles, quakes. It doesn't stay peacefully. It always ask for the water. Please put me back into the water. Please put me back into the water. That's what the fish asks by trembling. So that way, Buddha say, look at your heart like that. Look at your mind like that. This is very restless, just as a fish pulled out from the water. Just as the fish asks for the water, the mind asks for sense pleasures. No, go. Go and see a beautiful, attractive sight. We can spend longer hours by watching movies, TV series like Netflix without any problem. Without that much of problem from the just as the meditation. Like I mean, in the meditation, we face many, many distractions. But when we provide our mind a agreeable sight, it can stay. Flies landing, mosquitoes biting, backache, no problem. Why? Because this mind has enjoyment among the agreeable things. We can listen to songs without tiredness. We can enjoy food without tiredness. So, but when it comes to the peace of mind, when we try to establish mindfulness, when we try to focus to our breathing, we see, oh, so difficult. Mind is restless, goes here and there. Now the Buddha say this is the first hindrance, that pulling your mind to the object of the senses is the first hindrance, first block, which prevents developing mindfulness, which stops you from having a peace of mind. So what can we do for this? What to do for this? We need to find an enjoyment higher than the sense pleasures. That's the Buddha's instruction. Buddha say there should be a more enjoyment in your mind to stay with you, with your breathing, than the sense pleasures. That's the Buddha's solution. Now, if we look at this, if we compare this, what is the highest happiness? Is it when the mind is so much distracted into the outside things, or when the mind is one-pointed? What do you think? Is it when our mind is wandering to the external things, or is it when mind is one point? What is the strongest happiness we can enjoy?
1 point, of
One
course.
point.
Yes, when our mind is still, there is a higher enjoyment. Buddha say there is a like the very soothing, very peaceful, a present moment, happiness in the one-pointedness, in the jhanas, in the concentration. And this is our struggle. We try to bring it back and we focus to the breath. And again, mind wanders. We bring it back and we focus to the breath. At some point, if we can enjoy the breath, being in the present moment, in those moments, we can experience that peace of mind, that stillness. And that way, gradually, mind stops wandering. Little by little, it won't happen immediately, but with our own practice, with our own training, at some point we would be able to see the breath as it is, and with peacefully we will observe that. Then the mind won't wanders to the outside things. Okay? Now, Buddha say, when your mind wanders, normally what we do as a practice, as we guiding, as I'm guiding during the meditation, what do you do when your mind wanders?
You bring it back to your breath.
Yeah, we bring it back to our breath. That is a one technique, but that's not the only technique. Okay, that's a one technique that we try to bring it back and refocus. But in the teachings, that's not the only technique we can do. Can you guess what we can do otherwise?
So,
Do another type of meditation.
Yes, we can try to do another type of meditation. Of course, we can take that as a solution. But can you guess what else?
Reflect on the impermanence of that feeling.
Yes, we can do a reflection, and Buddha say, try to get to know a complete understanding about the sense desire, sense pleasures. Which means, let's say our mind wanders, we tried so many times to bring it back, it won't work. Then we pause our meditation and try to focus to these sense desires. And you try to analyze, okay, now in this moment, I have sense desire. Can our mind stay two objects at a time? What do you think?
No.
Two things at a time?
no.
No. So when your mind is not in the breath, it is in the sense desires.
Mhm.
Okay? It's in the sense pleasures. Now, if Buddha said, don't abandon your focus, don't abandon your attention, you slightly move your attention to this wandering mind and get to know that this is wandering mind. Okay? Is this possible? Before we move forward, let's see. Can we recognize that distracted mind as distracted? Yes, we can. We can. Let's say when you are not in the breath, what you can do is that you can recognize, okay, this is my wandering mind. This time my mind is going to the sense desires. I have seen sometimes when I'm meditating, I remember, okay, what if you go and talk with people? You can talk with people and spend some time with the community. What if you go and open up the fridge and see what you have to eat and you can enjoy that taste? What if you listen into a song? What if you go and watch YouTube?
And you make it
So the
work.
mind is taking you to the enjoyment on the sense pleasures. Of course, I know that it's time for me to observe breathing or observe the postures, observe the elements. But because there is this instant gratification that we can achieve by going easily to the enjoyment of the senses, so it stops. It stops the training. You know, it's said that in the teachings that there was a cow, a bull, the cow herd, the man who is taking the bull, need to take all the responsibility about the cow. Sorry, about the bull. So the bull is going through the field when the crops are well ripened. Now the bull's head naturally, without effort, easily turn into the crops, the yummy crops for the bull. If the man abandoned the responsibility, if the man abandoned what man wanted to do, and don't care about what the bull is doing, the man would be in trouble. Who is suffering? The man is suffering. Why? Because the crop is not belong to the man, but it belong to the government, let's say government. If the bull turn the head and put the head into the crops, it will eat just a little. And the bull becomes so mad. Oh, this is so yummy. And then the bull pull the man, or well, punch the man and jump into the crops and devastate everything. And start eating all the crops. And later the bull look at the crops, or the crops gone. And now who is be fined? Who is be present? It's that man who is belong to the bull. So people won't put the bull into the jail, pull the bull into the court, but the man who belong. This just the same way when the untrained mind is like a bull, Buddha say. If we give a little bit to enjoy during the meditation, to enjoy sense pleasures, it will go and lost among the sense pleasures, and we never know when it come back. But the good news is if you stayed on the cushion observing breath, there will be a moment it come back. Okay, that's the good news. If you stay for 1 hour, maybe after 45 minutes it will come back. And that's where your progress. That's where your progress lies. Not easily abandoning. Okay, only for today. I will go and watch a YouTube video. I will go and open up the fridge and eat something. I mean, it's not, this is not saying like it is bad not to do, but when we train the mind, we need that dedication, don't we? We need that determination, that dedication, because this is the world's hardest thing to do. Easiest thing to do is to go and lost among the sense pleasures and enjoy the sense pleasures. And we also face to the consequences like the drawbacks. Okay, this is the point. Now, friends, during the meditation, else we can bring our mind back to the breath, or else we can analyze and develop some knowledge about that. Now, in the last week and also the week before that, I talked about the true nature of things. Okay, I talked about some special aspects regarding the elements or regarding the other things. We learned that there should be a certain knowledge, and that knowledge has some aspects. Now, can somebody remind me, and new friends can also write it down. There should be 3 aspects, like knowledge spread into three categories. First one,
Bante, is it the gratification, danger,
exactly.
and
Danger and
escape?
exit.
Danger and escape.
Escape. Yeah.
Gratification means pleasure and joy that we experience about the, let's say, about the elements. That's how we talked about the elements. We talked about the solid element. It has pleasure and joy. And what is the drawback the pleasure, the elements has?
It results in suffering.
Yes, drawback, the danger part of the
Impermanence.
yeah, impermanence, exactly. That's the
Subject to
word,
change. Yeah.
impermanence. Okay. The third one is the escape. And what is escape, as we learned in the teaching, in the discussion?
Abandoning.
Removing craving.
Yeah, abandoning the craving, desire, lust we have for the 4 elements. And up until that we come to such a knowledge, we learned that we need to observe and contemplate and recollect and reflect our elements, 4 elements. Okay. Now, Buddha say you need to possess that knowledge, the same knowledge to the sense pleasures. Okay. Buddha say you need to develop the same knowledge that is spread into these 3 aspects regarding the sense pleasures. Okay, what is sense pleasures? What are the sense pleasures? Agreeable, yes, agreeable sight, agreeable sound, agreeable smell, agreeable taste. Those are the sense pleasures, which means in English, those are actually the pleasure that we take through our senses. That's why it is called sense pleasures. Okay, not to be confused with other things, but this necessarily talk about the enjoyment of the sense objects, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Okay, those are the sense pleasures. Now, do you feel or have you ever experienced that there is a gratification in the sense pleasures? What do you think?
Well, there's enjoyment.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening during the meditation.
Yeah, there's enjoyment in the sense.
Yes, the enjoyment it has, the pleasure and joy it brings. That's the point. Like we have enjoyment through the senses. That's the gratification. What do you think? Is this sense pleasures has a drawback or not having a drawback?
Drawback.
Yes. Have you ever found a sense pleasure which is permanent?
No.
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 All of the sense pleasures are changing continuously. Okay? And how about the last part, the escape? Now, do you want to escape? Okay, only during the breathing meditation, do you want to escape? from that distraction of the sense pleasures?
Yes, you want to abandon it.
Yes, you want to abandon that distraction, because what we need is to observe the breathing peacefully. That's what we need. Now, where is that abandoning? Where is that escape from the sense pleasures?
Is that getting rid of the craving?
Yes,
Well,
abandon the craving. That's the exit, that's the escape, abandoning the craving for the sense pleasures. Now, Buddha say, you need to let go the craving for the sense pleasures. That's when you will be free from the wandering mind during your breathing observation. Okay? Now, how to do that? According to these three aspects.
You have to let go of the attachment to the
For the which part you should focus you should focus.
impermanence.
Exactly. You should look at the impermanence of the sense pleasures in order to achieve the exit, in order to achieve the escape. Sorry for making it too much technical, but this is how I learned according to the teaching, because the teaching, the Sutta teachings especially, give a straight solution. Very straight solution for the wandering mind. Of course, we know mind should not be wander. We should bring it back and we think, okay, I should not let my mind wander. But we haven't experienced that. Now, abandoning the craving for the sense pleasures set us free. Abandoning the craving for the sense pleasures, let us go those distractions. And for that, what we do is that we focus to the drawback of the sense pleasures. Even during a meditation or outside the meditation, what happens if we only focus to the enjoyment of the sense pleasures? Oh, look, I had a delicious food. I will never have that again. It was so delicious. And it
Maybe
was
kind of
decorated like this. And it has icing like this. And it has a flower. I really didn't want to eat the flower because it was really beautiful. But somehow I wanted to taste it, I ate it. And there were so many decorations around. And the fragrance of the cake was so good. And while I was eating, it has this crunchy sound. It was so good to hear. And this soft, like when I was touching it, it was so soft. For the lips, it was so soft. And the
but
taste was also so soft.
but I don't totally understand this, because if my mind is so distracted, why would I go into meditation?
Very good point. Yeah, that's very good point. Because Buddha say with the sense pleasures, we limit us. We limit ourselves. We block ourselves. We go into a tunnel vision. We only focus to the one that we greed for, and we chase after that. So when we think only the sense pleasures, normally people don't like to talk about the drawbacks. Why? Because they are afraid of seeing the drawback, because they are afraid of losing that enjoyment that they have. And then they will not experience any peace of mind. And when they gotta abandon the craving, so they go to very deep sorrow, deep suffering, deep pain. Why I had this, why I had to face to this, why it is impermanent. Actually, it came with the impermanence. But because of the enjoyment part, it deceives the mind. So it lost the focus. We don't want our mind to teach how to attach. We don't want our mind to teach how to be distracted. But mind easily go to the distractions. It is our responsibility, like a cow, like a bull that we protect. we should always keep a closer look at our heart, wherever we are, whatever we do. And my mind is going to the distractions? Was it lost among the sense desires? Okay, now by seeing the danger of the sense pleasures is never being taught by the Buddha that you lost your purpose. Sometimes people think, okay, if you look at those things, isn't that make you more like lost your focus, what you should do in the world, or how you should d- is that lost your purpose and motivation that you won't do anything and you just keep calm, or probably you go to a forest and live in the forest, or maybe that you become a monastic, so there is no way to uh, live your life if you see the drawback of the sense pleasures. No, not necessarily. Why? Because uh, just by thinking the drawback won't easily cut off this attachment that we have for the sense pleasures. We have a very big and deep attachment to the sense pleasures. By thinking once or twice about the sense drawback won't make all the problem, like the motivation stop, purpose stop. Okay, so there is no problem by thinking the drawback of the sense pleasures. That's what I want to share with you. That's what I want to tell you. So you think momentarily when your mind wanders, you think, okay, my mind is wandering to the external, like the sense pleasures. But this time, my mind is wandering, but all these sense pleasures that my mind is taking me are not permanent. You think those are not permanent. When I teaching you the impermanence, I gave you a definition according to the Buddha's teachings. What was impermanence? How do you define impermanence?
Rising and disappearing.
Rising and falling.
Okay. Do you remember I taught you exactly according to how Buddha taught that? Okay, I can take the both answers is correct, like in a way, because it's rising and falling. But what exactly Buddha taught was that he said you need to see that these three points, that there is a rising, there is a vanishing, falling, and in between there is a change. Upado panyayati, vayo panyayati, titassa anyatattam panyayati. That is what Buddha intended as impermanence, the knowledge of impermanence. You see there is an arising, you should see there is a vanishing, you should see there is a change. Okay? When you look at the sense pleasures, you should see this arising, vanishing, changing. Now, Buddha have given so many beautiful similes to think when mind is so much distracted. Buddha said, when your mind is so much stress, your mind is so much feeling defeated, when your mind feels so much like depression, that your mind is not listening to you, you should think and look at these similes. Okay? Buddha say, see the sense pleasures as a skeleton. Okay? See the sense pleasures as a skeleton. Now one day there was a dog, and the dog was starving for few days. He was so hungry and wanted to find some food. And all of a sudden, the dog saw there was the butcher cutting the flesh of a dead cow or something. And the dog spotted this place and went there and looked with big eyes, sad face. Please, butcher, give me some food. And what the butcher did was that he scraped all the flesh from the skeleton and from a bone and threw it to the dog. And the dog took this skeleton, this bone, and chewed it. And all of a sudden, when the dog is eating the bone, all of a sudden its jaw was like tore, like it was like broken, and it had a wound, and there is this blood taste, and the dog was eating the bone, and the dog think, all the taste that I have, that I receive, is from the bone itself. But it was not from the bone, but it was the taste of its own injury, like the blood. But the dog is not ready to let go the bone. Now it's turning here and turning there and trying to chew and trying to fill the belly. But it said that the dog couldn't fill the belly because it doesn't have the flesh. Buddha says same way, the enjoyment of the sense pleasures are very little. There is gratification, but it's very little. But the pain, the stress, fear, anxiety, this depression, and worry is so big. Okay. So Buddha say, when the mind wanders, you pause your breathing meditation, you remember about this simile. Okay, even my mind is going to those sense pleasures, but I cannot find a peace of mind, like the complete stillness of my mind by wandering into these things. But if I can focus to the breath, it can bring me much more higher happiness. Then you'll see your mind easily come to your breathing. When you look at those sense pleasures as it is. Then with that simile, you see, we already know what is the gratification of the sense pleasures, because when we focus to the sense pleasures, we receive that happiness, but we lack this drawback. We don't know about drawback. When we look at the simile, you can easily understand impermanence of the sense pleasures. That is why it is so much stressful, like the dog eating the bone. That is so stressful to wander into sense objects, and remaining there is very tiring. Okay. So you see the drawback through the simile, and what happens is that you momentarily cut off your attachment, the craving that you are producing inside to the wandering mind. Because mind wanders because there is an enjoyment. Our mind won't wanders if there is no enjoyment.
Bante,
Okay. Yes.
what's the danger in eating cheesecake then? Is it like you give the example of a dessert?
Yes.
Is the idea to enjoy the cheesecake, but tell yourself this
Okay,
will
if
not
you
last?
eat the cheesecake, if the cheesecake had complete happiness, it should stop eating more cheesecakes. It should stop this insatiable craving. If the cheesecake had the complete purpose there to fill our mind completely happy, it should not bring us again craving to the same cheesecake or different cheesecake.
I see.
It should complete our happiness.
I see. Okay.
It should
Thank you.
bring us mind to present moment. It should still our mind. It should totally bring us to the present moment and focus to the what we are doing. But what happens is, like, even we are eating the cheesecake, we are thinking about another cheesecake. Why? Because we are not content from the cheesecake that we already have. which means the cheesecake has this impermanence. That happiness is very gross, Buddha say very solid. Yeah, Olarika Pali word, which means I don't remember the English translation for that, but it's very uh, solid like gross. But when you get into the peace of mind, it's very deep. When you enter to the first jhana, Buddha say in the first jhana you don't have any distraction from the sense pleasures. You don't even know. You don't even yeah rough. That's the word rough pleasure. The sense pleasure has rough pleasure. But when you go to the deep into the concentration, you enjoy that with deep happiness, with the very deep happiness. Buddha say in the first jhana you don't have any thought about sense pleasures. You don't even know what is sense pleasure means in that moment. It said that our mind go to past and future because of the sense pleasures. And when you know about the sense pleasures and when you see the drawbacks, it stops wandering and it comes to the breath and you go to the deep jhana. And in the jhana, you don't have that. So you only stay with the breath, breathing. So normally I think because once Buddha say mother fight with the children, children fight with the mother, father fight with the children, children fight with the father, mother fight with the father, and the relatives fight with the relatives, friends fight with the friends, kings fight with the kings, people fight with the people because of the sense pleasures. Because in those moments their minds are possessed by the thoughts of sense pleasures. That is why there is, Buddha said, wars, battles, conflicts, arguments, because of sense pleasures, attachment to the sense pleasures. Deluded by sense pleasures because one lacks the mindfulness and clarity, they speak evil words, and they do evil actions. They kill living beings, steals others' property, and speak divisive words to separate others, all because of those moments their minds are completely occupied by sense desires, sense pleasures. I remember once he said to us that while we were meditating, if the mind wanders, pause. You try to let go, but it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, pause and think about the drawbacks. How many times like people like do harmful things because of these sense pleasures? How many people like fight because of these sense pleasures? And how much this is insatiable. When we think that, mind come to the peaceful state.
Doesn't it come to more distraction if you accumulate these vile sense pleasures? I'm not sure.
Yeah, more sense pleasures, you mean, Manfred?
Yes. If you
Well,
think about it more and more.
I mean, thinking about that, I mean, like, as long as you know the drawback, it won't distract you. As long as you know the drawbacks, or this has impermanence, you get the authority over the sense pleasures. You have the proper understanding, the correct understanding about the sense pleasures. Now the misery is because that we only know that we only expect in our minds that there can only be the enjoyment. And that's how most of population see about the sense pleasures, only the enjoyment. But if we know at some point these things will be changed, then we are ready to let go when the time's right. Do you like half of knowledge or the full knowledge?
Full knowledge.
Yeah, we need gratification to be understand. We need drawback to be understand. We need escape to be understood. Because sometimes people think when some people come to the monastic life, I remember some people come to us to ask for the ordination. They say, no, I want to let go everything. I don't want to live with these people, these sense pleasures. I don't want to belongings. I don't want to possessions. They try to find an escape by running from the sense pleasures when there is. But the escape is not moving your body from one place to another, but moving your craving, abandoning your craving, not moving, abandoning your craving for the sense pleasures. Because Buddha lived in a beautiful cottage, like the beautiful cottage, and it was decorated with sandalwood, always pleasant fragrance, and the kings offering delicious food to the Buddha. If it happened to a normal person, they would definitely delude, confuse. Okay, these things are permanent. And then if somebody were to take it away, they would fight. Okay, these are mine. Don't take me away. But Buddha lived among the people. Buddha lived among the sense pleasures. Buddha lived among these beautiful things. But he didn't have craving. We have craving. We neutralizing craving. But the Buddha didn't have craving at all. That's a complete escape, liberation. So he go to the heavenly worlds, he go to the palaces, see beautiful people, see beautiful food, enjoy, but there is no this root cause of suffering. Buddha said, someone bring all the sense pleasures in the world and separate it into 16 parts. And another person brings the happiness after eradicating completely the craving. If you compare this, Buddha say, the enjoyment, the gratification of the sense pleasures divided into 16 parts won't match for even one part with the happiness of completely eradicating the craving. So after abandoning craving, there is a deep happiness. Mind won't go anywhere. It's always here. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining with the discussion and the meditation. Yes, please reflect about the drawbacks, impermanence of the distractions, and then try to know about the simile of the dog. So you'll be able to abandon the distractions, those moments. And I hope every success and every success in your meditations, and may you soon be able to attain the perfect bliss of mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you so much. Good night, friends.